how I got to the show that I painted. I made some paintings that I liked that were pink. And then I made some more paintings that I liked that were pink. And then I thought, I need to study the color pink. So I went to Japan to see the cherry blossoms. Color-wise, it was everything that I wanted and then some. It's like the Niagara Falls of pink. The first paintings I made for this show were trying to be in that pink world space. So the painting that's called The Rose Tree, and then Icarus. Then it gets very dark and very red. The Surrealist painting is called The Surrealist. If I call a painting The Surrealist, it animates it. I call it The Surrealist, and then the viewer knows, oh, there is a being here. One looks to the painting to find the being. So what if the painting is the being? I gave then the painting attributes, like a starfish and a piece of neon. It is then the Surrealist. I don't know how I fell in love with surrealism. I was interested in Man Ray's films. So Man Ray made a film called Emek Bakia. There's a shot of the ocean rolling in, and then he rolls the camera 180 degrees. So the ocean's rolling over your head. It's very disorienting. And that's how the idea of making a starfish sky popped into my head, because I thought, oh, the ocean is in the sky. I was looking for a piece of coral that had little character. The one boring piece of coral allows me to use the interesting piece of coral in the other painting. And one becomes masculine and the other feminine. So Icarus is the masculine painting, and then the rose tree is the feminine painting. And then I said, hey, look, this looks like a Greek torso. Then that's how the painting got the name Icarus. The painting that's in the downstairs gallery called Island of the Dead, that's a found image. So I made the painting, I paint on the floor, I worked on it purely for color and composition. So stretch the painting, put it on the wall, and suddenly I see Bauquelin's Island of the Dead, which is a popular painting hanging in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Neptune is probably the most mysterious painting. It's just blue. But the lower right corner is pretty special. The center of it is quite empty, but there's a cobalt blue, almost puddle in the middle, which I think is really strange and sort of like a stain. It's perhaps the strangest, most disturbing painting in the show. The very tall painting with the apple green neon is called After William Blake. And William Blake is unusual in that he was a great poet and a great artist. And that painting does have the character of a underworld to an overworld. There's a golden creature swimming in the bottom. And in these works, the scale is so big, it's absurd. It gets into the very absurdity of existence, I think. The thing that's very different about this show from any show I've done is how each painting is unique in and of itself. It's not in a series. The through line isn't a color. The through line is, for lack of a better word, a feeling. The abstract sublime, the self in relation to everything. This is a much more personal show than I've made. Stranger, odder, more is revealed, I think.